Ta-da! Megan is here. Taming Tsukishima Kei, Episode 2. Tsushima was filled with Nishinoya and Tanaka's laughter when Hinata told them what happened when he confessed to Tsukishima. It was early in the morning and it was only the three of them, so Hinata decided to ask for help, but they seriously rejected you? Poor thing. Don't mind. The laughter continued not until Daichi arrived. The two second years immediately closed their mouth when Daichi glared at them. Stop teasing, Hinata, you're not helping at all. We heard what happened last time. Are you okay? Sugawara asked as he approached the blushing Hinata. Hinata slowly nodded as Sugawara patted his head. Sugawara threw his gaze at the two second years who was still behaving. He gave them a soft smile before walking towards them. Don't bully him. Do you understand? And with that, both Tanaka and Nishinoya nodded their heads. They smiled at Hinata and decided to give him some advice to cheer him up. You know what, Hinata? Tsukishima is like a wild animal. Yeah, he might bite you if you're not careful enough. Why don't you act more friendly around him? Make him flutter. I know he'll like you eventually. Good thinking, Noya-san. Just like taming a bad dog, right? Hinata didn't understand most of it, but he agreed to the other's idea. Days passed quickly. Nothing much happened. Hinata was still on his move on making Tsukishima like him, but life was so mean to Hinata. As the bell rang, Tsukishima's mood became bad. His eyebrows furrowed as he started to look outside his classroom searching for a familiar figure. I need to get out of here before he started pestering me again. Tsukishima immediately grabbed his notes and shoved it inside his bag. After that, he started to walk towards the door, hoping he'll get out of the classroom safely. Tsukishima! Right before he was about to go out, the tangerine-haired lad was already on his way to Tsukishima, running at full speed. Tsukishima flinched as soon as he heard the other's voice echoing. The voice gets louder and louder as Hinata was approaching in a speed of light. Soon enough, Hinata reached Tsukishima with the widest smile. What do you want now, Shrimp? I have a question. This is torture. Tsukishima sighed and turned to Hinata, who was clearly waiting for his answer. This was the fifth time Hinata asked some random questions. After Hinata confessed and was rejected by Tsukishima, the tangerine didn't give up. He always waited for Tsukishima and tried to talk to him, but at the end of the day, he always get rejected. But unlike the past few days, Tsukishima started to respond on his question, so Hinata considered it as a progress. Fine, ask away. Make it quick. I don't have time for this. What's your type? Hinata asked. The blonde raised an eyebrow at that. Tsukishima then started thinking about his ideal type. For the first time, Hinata asked a normal question. Anything actually? Maybe caring, loving, and good at class. Why do you even ask about it? Dissatisfied, Hinata wrinkled his eyebrows at Tsukishima's answer. He stamped his feet and angrily placed his hand on his waist, puffing his cheeks. Your blood type. Blood. Oh, be positive. It's too early to reject me. Don't try to cheer me up. Just tell me your blood type. I told you, be positive. Stop cheering me up. I am not cheering you up. You know what? Forget it. I'm done with your questions. Why am I even talking to you right now? Tsukishima stormed off, leaving the tangerine-haired lad standing in front of his classroom. That's when Yamaguchi went out and noticed Hinata, who was about to cry. Are you rejected again, Hinata? I was just asking for his blood type. Why cheer me up instead? Be positive. That is his blood type. Not you, Yamaguchi. I know he rejected me. Don't cheer me up, it won't help. Yamaguchi patted the other's back as Hinata started to get gloomy. The pitch server kept up but smiled awkwardly. He did to himself as he continued cheering the other up. As the sky went dark, Tsukishima was found walking alone, probably on his way home. Yamaguchi was not with him that time because of some important training, and so he left early. As the soft breath of wind touched Tsukishima's skin, he looked up at the sky and watched the stars shining like glitters. Ugh, just how far are you going to follow me? He said as he noticed Hinata's presence behind him. Hinata immediately fastened his face, walking beside Tsukishima with his bike. The tangerine-haired lad smiled at him. Tsukishima looked away as he started to feel agitated. Hinata didn't respond, and so he annoyingly looked at the other, but Hinata was looking in a faraway distance, so he decided to stay quiet. As the silent atmosphere embraced them, Tsukishima somehow felt serene now that he knew that he had company. That's when Hinata decided to speak. Must be hard not being able to laugh, Hinata said. The blonde glanced at the other and sighed. Hinata was so serious and it was his first time seeing this side of him. I do have a sense of humor, you know, he answered. That made Hinata look at him in surprise. A smile painted Hinata's face at that. Hinata chuckled as he faced the tall middle blocker while still walking. I've never heard you laugh before, he said, trying to make their conversation long. Tsukishima looked at Hinata with cold stare. That is because I've never heard you say anything funny. I always say funny things. No, you only said stupid things. You! Tsukishima smirked as he saw Hinata getting pissed. This is the first time Tsukishima had a long conversation with Hinata, and he thought it isn't that bad. There are just times when Hinata started talking nonsense things that made Tsukishima annoyed, so he decided to ignore him. The conversation between them ended when they reached Tsukishima's house. But before Tsukishima can enter the door, he left some words to Hinata and finally faced him. I don't know if you're just joking around, but just give up, he said, trying to reject him again, hoping he'll be discouraged this time and leave him alone. But Hinata just smiled, walking towards him and said, I'm not giving up on you, the tangerine said as he reached for the taller's hand and gently kissed it. Why are you doing this? I told you. I like you, Tsukishima, and I'll make sure you'll fall in love with me. Have a good sleep, Hinata said as he turned his back and waved his hand, leaving Tsukishima's stunned. Cheeks were painted with hues of red as he stared at his hand. Did I overdo it? Am I too friendly? Damn it. Did I really kiss this hand? Oh, you're so dumb, so I just hope he doesn't hate me more. To be continued.